In this video, I'll show you how to make this Nutella bread from scratch in this really cool star shape.
Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
This bread is actually a variation on an Italian Easter bread. Starting off with a medium-sized bowl, place 3/4 of a cup of milk and 2 1/2 tablespoons of butter. Put that in the microwave and heat it on high just until the butter is melted and the milk is warm to the touch. Give it a stir to make sure all the butter is melted, and then to that you are going to add 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar. Stir it around and then add some instant yeast. That is half an envelope, but 1 1/2 teaspoons. And then add 1 beaten egg and stir that around. Place it in a large bowl, and to this you're going to begin to add flour. Anywhere between 2 and 3 cups of flour. Add 1 cup first, and then you can start beating this with an electric mixer until it's nicely combined and smooth. And add a 2nd cup, and as soon as it starts to get really thick, you may switch to dough hooks instead of the beaters. And then add a little bit more flour, and once the dough starts pulling away from the sides, you're going to do the rest by hand. So you're going to knead the dough a few times in the bowl, and then you're going to take it out of the bowl and you're going to put it on the countertop, and you're going to knead it a few times there just until you get a smooth, pliable dough that is no longer super sticky. And you add a little bit of flour if it is really sticky. Put a little bit of oil in the bowl and turn the dough ball over so that it's coated in oil. Cover it with plastic wrap and place it in a warm place to rise until it is doubled. And that takes about an hour and a half, depending how warm your kitchen is. Then cut the dough ball into 2 pieces with a sharp knife. And then you're going to spread it out kind of like you're making pizza. As a matter of fact, I'm using a pizza pan for this because I want a round shape, but you can make this in any kind of baking dish as long as it's big enough. And then you're going to start to spread some Nutella on that first dough piece. Now, I'm not giving you exact measurements for Nutella. You just want to spread it in an even layer all over that dough piece. Just leave a little area around the edge that doesn't have any, like as you can see in the video here. Then place that second piece of dough on top. Now what I did is I stretched that dough piece out and I made it into a round shape prior to putting it on top of the first piece. Just gently place it on and just try to even up the edges. Now we're going to cut it into segments like a flower, kinda. So you don't want to cut it all the way in the center, and you want all the segments to be about the same length. So what I did is I just took a glass just to give it a little circle shape in the middle so I would know to start cutting from that line. So basically you're going to cut it into 4 pieces and then cut it into 8 pieces. Use a sharp knife. Cut the pieces like you're cutting petals on a flower. Just don't go all the way to the center. You want to leave an area that's not cut. And then you're going to cut those 8 pieces into 2, then flip them over, and then flip them over again, and then pinch the end. Continue on until they're all flipped and pinched, and you'll end up with 8 of them. Cover it with plastic wrap and put it in a warm place to rise until doubled. Then you're going to lightly brush the top of your bread with an egg wash, which is just a beaten egg with a teaspoon of water, and that's going to help give your bread a really nice dark golden brown color. Then bake it at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until it's nice golden brown. There's the bread out of the oven. I just wanted to show you here, wherever you had cut the bread, it easily separates there. So you can get these lovely individual portions. So you'll have 8 of those, and then you'll have a nice star-shaped piece in the center. The bread is wonderful, light, fluffy, and it has that nice hazelnut chocolate filling. It's a great bread. Now the one I made is a little bit flat looking. It should have more of a domed appearance, and that's really my fault because when I let it rise the second time, I kind of forgot about it because I was busy, and when I went to check it, it had risen up and it had started to come back down a little bit. So it was a little bit flatter than it should have been, but it still turned out great. Now, if you give this a try, I would love to see photos of your creations. So please go ahead and post them on my Facebook fan page. I'll give you a link in the About section below this video. Thanks so much for watching. Here is another video you may not have seen. This is an old video back from 2009 when I first started posting recipe videos on YouTube. And the star of this one is my son Max, who was only about 9 or 10 years old at the time. And he is making monkey bread. And he does the whole thing. He does every single step in this video. He's adorable to watch, and actually the recipe is quite good. So if you want a really great recipe for monkey bread, check it out by clicking right on your screen or seeing the link in the description box. And you can also get a good laugh out of Max's antics. Thanks for watching.